Hello, dear guys. Today we are going to study very first chapter circular motion for MHT CET. इसमें सबसे पहला जो पॉइंट आता है दैट इज एंगुलर डिस्प्लेसमेंट. इजी वे में याद रखेंगे, एंगुलर डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज नथिंग बट एन एंगल जो बन रहा है सेंटर पर. किसके सेंटर पर? सर्कल के सेंटर पर. अब सर्कल कौन बनाएगा? पार्टिकल. सो व्हेन एवर पार्टिकल परफॉर्म्स अ सर्कुलर मोशन, उसकी कोई भी दो पोजीशंस के बीच में अगर आप वो दोनों पोजीशंस को सेंटर से जॉइन करते हैं तो उनके बीच में जो एंगल बनेगा दैट इज़ कॉल्ड एज एंगुलर डिस्प्लेसमेंट. नाउ इफ़ इट इज़ अ स्मॉल क्वांटिटी then it is a vector, but if it is a large quantity then it will be a scalar quantity. So therefore infinitesimal angular displacement is a vector quantity. assume करते हैं particle anti clockwise sense में है. So this is arc S curve and this is center, it is radius. These two are radius vectors. So we can take angular displacement equals to arc divided by radius. So the formula S equal to r theta and its vector form will be S equal to theta vector cross r vector. तो जो भी हमको S vector का डायरेक्शन मिलेगा वो थीटा एंड आर मीन्स थीटा एंड आर के परपेंडिकुलर होगा. सो सपोज द पार्टिकल इज मूविंग इन एंटी क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन, देन द डायरेक्शन ऑफ थीटा वेक्टर इज फाउंड बाय राइट हैंड थंब रूल और राइट हैंड स्क्रू रूल, एंड विच इज द perpendicular to the plane containing S and R. So it is like this when we are going anti-clockwise. The next term is SI unit of angular displacement is radian. Next term comes as second term angular velocity, which is denoted by the symbol omega, and its formula is just like velocity as displacement upon time. Angular velocity is angular displacement upon time. So we can write omega equals to theta upon t. If theta is infinitesimal small, then we can write omega as limit del t tends to 0 d theta or del theta upon del t. So according to calculus this becomes d theta upon dt. So question based on if theta equals to at square plus bt plus c, find theta at t equals to 2 second or angular velocity at initial stage that is t equal to 0 may be asked on this question. Now the SI unit of omega is radian per second and its dimensional formula is, this is dimensionless, so its dimensional formula will be only t raised to minus 1, whereas angular displacement theta was dimensionless. Now if theta is changing, then we can represent omega as theta 2 minus theta 1 divided by t. Now the relationship between linear velocity and angular velocity is very simple. V equal to r omega. So this is r into 2 pi f, or this is r into 2 pi divided by t. Next term, vector form. What is the vector relation between these two? This is V equal to omega vector cross r vector. So these three vectors can be represented as, this is anti-clockwise circular motion, center, radius vector is always outward, velocity vector is always tangential, then the direction of omega vector can be again given by right hand rule. So it will be going perpendicular to the plane containing v vector and r vector. So if anywhere CET question is asked on this, we can find it by using determinant I, j, k in the first row, the components of omega in second, components of r. So let's do this type of question. If omega equals to 3i minus 4k and r vector equals to I plus j minus k, then find linear velocity. So putting the components 3, 0, minus 4, only you have to remember in this determinant that the components of omega should be on the second row, because cross product of two vectors is anti-commutative. Because if by mistake you are taking r cross omega, then this determinant will yield to the negative sign of the original answer, and that wrong answer by finding r cross omega will also be given in CET options. Therefore, take care of this direct cross product. Now 1, 1, minus 1, and then by solving this determinant we can find this answer. The next topic for our discussion is uniform circular motion. The motion of a particle along the circumference of a circle with uniform speed is called as uniform circular motion. So in this, omega will be constant. There will be only centripetal acceleration AC, which is equal to r omega square or v square divided by r, or putting r omega as v, we also get third formula v omega. The centripetal acceleration is also called as radial acceleration, and it always acts towards the center. Now these all three are the scalar forms of centripetal acceleration. Whenever we express it in vector form, this is minus r vector omega square minus, because radial acceleration is towards the center and radius vector is always outward from the center. Then v square upon r, but r unit vector, omega cross v, and over here we can take one more form as omega as 2 pi f, so it can be r into 4 pi square f square, and putting frequency equals to 1 upon time period, this may be r into 4 pi square divided by t square. Now centripetal acceleration is actual normal acceleration, only the difference is it always acts towards the center, and its dimensional formula is L1 t minus 2. So its unit will be meter per second square, and in UCM it is also called as linear acceleration because it acts towards the center along the line, along the radius. Therefore, it is called as linear acceleration. Now, next point of our discussion is centripetal force and centrifugal force. The very first concept to clear the doubts in between them, always remember that centripetal force, petal means this is center seeking force, and it always acts towards the center. Second point is it is a real force. Third point is it directly acts on the body, which is a directly participant of circular motion. and its formula can be mv square upon r, then mr omega square, mv omega, then putting the values for omega in terms of frequency and time period, it is mr 4 pi square f square or mr 4 pi square divided by t square. Now vector forms may be because it is also acting towards the center and opposite to radius vector. Therefore fc equals to minus mv square upon r into r cap, which cannot change the direction, it is only the unit vector, then minus mr omega square minus m, this is v cross omega, then minus mr vector 4 pi square f square, and the last form because radius is coming in numerator again, so minus mr 4 pi square divided by t square. But whenever we seek the applications of centrifugal force, it is always acts away from the center. Therefore, it is called as fugal. Fugal means fuge and fuge means away. Next is a pseudo force, or it is an imaginary force which does not act on directly revolving body, but it acts on the attached body which is attached to the revolving body. So always remember, this is the main difference. Centrifugal force does not act on revolving body, hence centripetal and centrifugal forces cannot balance each other. Formula will be same, only the mass may be different. Now we can get some applications of centripetal force whenever the mass is tied to a string, then the breaking tension will be equal to the centripetal force. Then in this case, centrifugal force will be acting on the string. Then in next case, whenever any planet is revolving around the sun, then centripetal force is balanced by the gravitational force between the planet and the sun. Next, whenever electron revolves around the nucleus, then again centripetal force is balanced by the electrostatic force, which is, it may be the charge on electron and the charge on a proton. This is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 e square upon r square, it is for hydrogen atom. But if the atomic number of atom is z, then it will be Ze square. And as such, for centrifugal force, the formula will be using only the centrifugal force equal to the pseudo force acting at that time. For example, in merry-go-round, we can take the qualitative discussion that on the person the centrifugal force is acting. Next, in the case of when a bucket full of water is revolving such that it is performing vertical circular motion, then at the topmost point the water does not spill, because at the topmost point the weight of this water is equal to the centrifugal force. So at the topmost point, weight can give you the condition velocity equals to under root of rg. Similar is the case for bike rider. When he goes at the topmost point of vertical circular motion, his weight should be balanced by the centrifugal force. Hence that will be equal to v equals to under root of rg. So this should be the minimum velocity maintained by the bucket or the bike rider. Now next point of discussion is vertical circular motion under Earth's gravitation. Now this is a type of non-uniform circular motion unless it is maintained by cell or any machinery part. So for this we are considering a mass m which is tied to one end of the string. This is center of the circle and it is whirled in a vertical circle. The assumed radius is r. Now suppose it is moving again in anti-clockwise direction, then T will be the tension in the string which always acts towards the support, because the support is provided by the center. Now suppose we are taking this as the original start and the particle is here, then we join this position to the center and this is theta, it is T, this is mg, the earth's gravitational force, and the centripetal force is always shown by minus mv square upon r because it is towards the center. Then we can take the first formula as, because revolving this mg, we can extend this line, we can resolve this mg by theta angle. So the base component is mg cos theta and this component is opposite to the velocity because velocity is given by the tangent, but we are not taking this component as it is the force and it is the velocity, so non-homogeneous quantities. So just if the particle is in equilibrium, because as we know this is performing non-uniform circular motion, so it is under acceleration, so it is in non-equilibrium, therefore we are taking the expression T minus mv square upon r equal to mg cos theta. Hence we get the tension at any place as T equals to mv square upon r plus mg cos theta. This formula can give you the tension at any point of the vertical circular motion. Now if we see complete diagram, the velocity, minimum velocity at the bottom of the circle will be equal to under root of 5 gr, so that the particle may not slacken at the top. Then the velocity at the top is given by under root of rg, and the velocity which is along the ends of diameter of the circle is under root of 3rg. So these are the different expression in vertical circular motion. Now if we are taking again the bottommost point, theta will be 0 degree, hence tension at the bottommost point in the string can be obtained by putting theta equal to 0. So the T bottom equal to mv1 square upon r plus mg, where v1 will be under root of 5rg. Then when we take tension at the top, this theta will be 180. So putting theta as 180, cos 180 as minus 1. So this is T top equals to mv square upon r minus mg, where velocity will be the velocity at the topmost point. Now whenever particle is in non-uniform circular motion, it may have centripetal acceleration as well as tangential acceleration. So centripetal acceleration अगर स्मॉल है एंड टेंजेंशियल बड़ा है तो पैरेललोग्राम कंप्लीट करके आपको एक नेट एक्सेलरेशन मिल सकता है एंगल 90 डिग्री. सो वी कैन अप्लाई डायरेक्ट पाइथागोरस थ्योरम and this will be the formula for net acceleration. Now in vertical circular motion we should remember that the total energy is always 5 by 2 mgr, whereas we can find the kinetic energy and potential energy at different points by finding the velocity at different points. So that may also be a case of non-uniform circular motion. Now this is the topic banking of roads, whereas the outer edge of the road is banked, means elevated by a little height h. This is the width of the road. So this is vehicle. Various forces are providing, shown in the figure, and then we can get two cases for layer specific limit and for upper specific limit. So we get lower specific limit as like this, where minus and plus This is the formula for like tan a minus b, and if we change the signs we get the answer for V max, that is the maximum safety speed. Next, this is a conical pendulum. When a mass tied to a string is revolved in the horizontal circular path, the string makes cone, hence it is called as the conical pendulum. So mass m will be causing the weight to act downward, and tension is always towards the support, so breaking these components. So T sin theta provides the necessary centripetal force, and T cos theta balances mg, hence we get different expressions for the time period. Now, as we have used kinematical equations in translatory motion, over here in rotatory or non-uniform circular motion, where centripetal and tangential accelerations are present, as well as angular acceleration. So V is equal to u plus at gives omega is equal to omega 0 plus alpha t. Then second equation, just replacing V by omega, final angular velocity, u by initial angular velocity, a by angular acceleration, s by angular displacement. Similarly, s nth, that is the displacement covered during nth second, will be u plus a by 2 bracket 2n minus 1, whereas in angular it will be theta nth, initial angular velocity, angular acceleration, and this is nth second, provided that alpha is equal to limit del t tends to 0 del omega by del t, or d omega by dt, or omega 2 minus omega 1 by t, that is the rate of change of angular velocity with respect to time. So this finishes our chapter circular motion. In next video we will be discussing about rotational motion. Hope this will be benefiting you. So just share, and happy learning. Thank you.